Welcome to Just for Laughs Votes, laughing at American politics. Tonight, we the people enjoy some of the most brilliant comedy minds American politicians have ever feared, including Louis Black, Daryl Hammond, Bill Maher, Rick Mercer, Jon Stewart, with your host, Ian Hanomansing. And now, because Canadians aren't allowed to cast a ballot for president, Just for Laughs Votes.
Hi, I'm Ian Hanomansing in Ottawa. Welcome to Just for Laughs Votes, laughing at American politics. As our neighbors to the south get ready to head to the polls, we're going to look at the people and issues that dominate the country, that dominates the world. From up here, American politics can sometimes be hard to figure out. For example, a president winning the election without getting the most votes. That may seem absurd to some Canadians. It's kind of like a Canadian political party forming government without getting the most seats in the House of Commons. Well, that's not a great example. But the point is, at least Americans understand American politics.
I don't know if you folks here in Montreal have noticed, but my country, America, has completely lost its mind. And the worst thing now, I'm gonna have to vote. It's horrible voting in my country. We have two candidates, generally, and one is crappy and the other's crappier. And you go, I can't vote crappier, I'll vote crappy. And then you come out 2 days later and went, I voted crappy. You know how I feel when I come out of the voting booth? I feel like I touched myself too much. I feel unseemly. We have a two-party system in my country. And actually, we have a guy named Ralph Nader who's running, but if any American is thinking of voting for Ralph Nader, they should kill themselves. He nominated himself. He nominated himself. You don't vote for anybody who said, I nominate me. That's something you learn in the second grade. We have the Democrats and the Republicans. What's the difference? The Democrats blow and the Republicans suck. The Democrats are a party of absolutely no ideas. The Republicans are a party of bad ideas. So the way it works is the Republican stands up in Congress and goes, I got a really bad idea. And the Democrat goes, and I'm gonna make it worse.
It's an election year. That's the big thing in the States right now, you know. I like George Bush. I do. You know what I think about George? He makes me feel like I could be president too. No, seriously. He's like the first guy like from my reading level, you know? First guy from my math class, like finally like go out and do something. Plus I love how he says the word terror. He can't say terror, he goes tear. You ever notice that? So he's like, America will not stand for tear. Anybody supports tear? If you're a terrorist, we're gonna get you. What kind of president goes, we're gonna get you? He's like some redneck they dragged out of a barbecue, put him in a suit. Dude, if you're standing on stage going, we're gonna get you, you should just be up there with like a couple of bloodhounds going, go get him, Blue. Smell the shirt, go get him. Damn, that Blue's a good dog.
Let's see, what's been going on in the world? President Bush recently got back from Europe. He had a beautiful line when he got off the plane. Remember that, folks? Europe. Excellent country. He's a funny guy. The president was trying to tell us that if we legalize gay marriage in the United States, that will threaten conventional marriage. Really? How? been happily married for 7 years. Am I gonna walk out of here tonight and go, you know, I've had 7 blissful years with my lovely wife, Catherine, but what about Chuck? What's Chuck doing later? When he was running for president the first time, folks, he said he wanted to be a uniter, not a divider. 3 years into the administration, there's a lot of truth to that statement, folks. His environmental policies have upset the Europeans, the Canadians, and the Japanese. His Star Wars policies upset the Russians, the Chinese, and the North Koreans. The war in Iraq upset Germany, France, Belgium, the Arab world, the Muslim world, and 15 million protesters worldwide. Within 3 years, this man has managed to bring together Russia, China, North Korea, Germany, France, Belgium. Europe, Japan, and Canada against us. The man is a miracle worker. He has done in 3 years what Saddam Hussein couldn't do in 30 years, folks. He was able to bring together the Sunnis and the Shiites. Not an easy thing to do. Not an easy thing to say either.
The Democrats have nominated John Kerry, and he in turn chose Richard Gephardt to be his vice president. Yes, he did. You obviously don't read the paper that I read, the New York Post. You may not have known this, but the New York Post actually said that John Kerry had picked Richard Gephardt. And that's the paper I read, so until he calls me, Gephardt's the candidate. I will tell you this, pick up a copy of the New York Post. It is the only paper with the guts to print its own news. Seriously, it's a great paper for a drug addict. In my lifetime, we went from Kennedy to Kerry. We went from Eisenhower to Bush. If that's evolution, in terms of leadership, I can guarantee by 2012, my country will be voting for plants.